Welcome back, everybody. Anthony, normally I would ask you how you're doing. Not today. Not today. I got I'd say it was a request. It's more like a demand from uh, a fan, someone who listens to the podcast. And by fan, I mean someone who knows us directly, because no one else listens to the podcast.
Okay.
Um, and he said the podcast is better when we talk about current events instead of our lives. So from now on, no more personal connection on the podcast. I don't want to know about you, and I don't want you to know about me.
Who said that? What's the first letter?
His name is. I'll bleep it out.
No.
Yeah, right. Screw.
He knows we. I know him personally.
No, I do.
Oh, okay. You said we.
Did I say we?
You did. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, top story as reported by New York Times today. Up yours. How about that?
Great. Sure.
Yeah.
Let's say that.
There's a lot of sources, a long bibliography for that article.
Yeah.
Up yours.
Oh, that sounds like a really intense article, actually.
I'm just screwing myself. I'm gonna have to bleep this out a lot, which we've yet to do.
Well, that's on you, buddy.
Yeah, yeah. On the bright side, we don't have to worry about getting demonetized because we're not monetized.
Well, yeah, I guess that's pretty true. Even if we were, we wouldn't be getting like really anything for it. So
Yeah, yeah. But yeah. I mean, did you hear about the new was it YouTube? I don't know, like the monetization guidelines or whatever.
I think I heard that there was like a new thing going on, but I don't know anything about it.
It's like you can't swear in the first 15 seconds
Yeah.
of a video, and then you can't swear in the majority of the video.
Hmm.
Um, which seems understandable, right?
Sure, yeah.
The problem with this is that they went back and retroactively um, demonetized videos that break guidelines that were uploaded. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I do recall hearing that part on an episode of Phil DeFranco. Um, some dude, like his whole channel basically just got demonetized or whatever because of the guidelines affecting retroactively his videos. And I was like, dude, that's super shitty.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Just say that you don't give a shit about people. All right. Just say it.
I mean, it's all about the advertiser money. They gotta,
Yeah. Say you don't give a shit about people. That's
yeah,
what the fuck I just said.
that's what it is. I was just painting it a different. I was saying the same thing using different words.
Right. Sure. Yeah. This is the really nice businessy way of saying it.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, that's why we here are lucky. We don't rely on ad revenue. We have Coca-Cola, our wonderful sponsor, our corporate overlord.
Yes, our very real sponsor that we have.
Mm-hmm. And contractually, they're never going to leave us ever.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they say. You know,
That's what everyone says.
totally.
Um, you know, I will. Okay, I do want to. I want to tell you about this. What I've been doing recently. Um,
Okay.
so our Andrew Tate video,
Mm.
unsurprisingly, our best success, our most successful video views wise. You throw his name in something, gets views.
Name runs far, yeah.
Yeah. Um, and then I thought to myself, I was like, oh, I'm gonna see if I can't get more views. And so recently, the past couple of episodes that we've done, I've done really clickbaity titles,
Yeah.
and they've done better than I've expected.
Well, that's why people do them, unfortunately.
Yeah. One of them I titled How to Learn TikTok Dances.
Wow. That's not even close to what the fuck was talked about.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It did okay
Yeah.
for our standards.
For our standards, your standards. I mean, that just is what it is. He's like in jail and stuff. That's crazy.
Yes. Yes, he is.
Like, I was like, okay, cool. It is what it is on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't affect me.
Yeah, it doesn't affect me either.
Yeah. So
So, just just is, you know. That's okay.
yeah. Um, have you ever seen videos of people in jail that like have access to phones and they have like there's a whole uh like jail TikTok. It's like
Uh,
people yeah,
no, no,
it's people that are in jail that have access to phones one way or another. I don't know if how many of them are allowed to have access to phones,
mm,
but they have phones and then they just like make TikToks about their time in jail. Some of them are pretty good.
really?
Yeah. There's one where like so obviously people were like, how do you have a phone? Like that shouldn't be allowed. Like
Right.
like I think someone asked like how do you charge the phone? And then the guy was like, it's real simple, really. He's like, all you need is a paper clip, a battery, some lemon. You need a running faucet, and then you scoot all that to the side, and then you just plug in your charger.
Nice.
Pretty,
Nice.
yeah. So sure, Andrew Tate still has some feed to the outside world.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure. I mean, they're both very rich, uh, and usually those kinds of people have access to a lot of different stuff, you
Yeah,
know. So I mean, you know, it'd be like that.
yeah.
That's okay.
You ever seen Goodfellas?
Yeah, yeah, I have seen Goodfellas. That's the mafia movie. Um, I can't remember his name. Ray Liotta, is that what his name was? Yeah.
Ray Liotta, which quick side note,
Hmm.
died recently.
I'm
Uh,
aware.
the last movie it appears that he'll be in is
Hmm.
Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine Bear?
You not heard of Cocaine Bear?
Nope.
Cocaine Bear is funny. It hasn't come out yet. I think it comes out next month.
Hmm.
Um, it's based on a real story. There was like a drug mule um plane that was transporting cocaine, just
Okay.
bricks of cocaine, and they were flying over like Tennessee,
Yeah.
the Smoky Mountains, and then for whatever reason, like a couple of bricks of cocaine fell out of the plane, and they fell into the Smoky Mountains, and then a bear found the cocaine and just ate it, like it like ate the bricks, and then was super hopped up on coke.
Okay.
And then, so in reality, what happened is they found and killed the bear extremely quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would,
because that's a risk to public safety. And then,
yeah.
Mhm. And so they have made a movie called Cocaine Bear, where it's a little bit like an alternate reality where the bear did not get found and shot down quickly, and instead gets like superpowers basically from the cocaine, and is unstoppable and goes on a killing spree.
This movie sounds silly as fuck.
I'm very excited to watch it.
It sounds stupid. I need to watch the trailer.
It's good. Ray Liotta's in it. Um, it looks I a lot of people are making fun of it. Um, because like they're like, oh, that movie looks dumb. And it's like, no, I think it's supposed to look dumb.
Yeah.
That's why it looks incredible.
Right.
So
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think it's a movie I'll go out of my way to watch. Maybe I'll go off of what you got to say about it. If you say it's actually like a funny whatever, then I'll totally go see it. But otherwise,
Yeah. I mean,
I trust your opinion.
I've definitely seen movies that are like supposed to be bad, and I've
Yeah,
seen the trailer for them, or I've seen parts of the movie, and I'm like, oh, this is dumb. Like
yeah,
they're they're going too hard
right.
in the opposite direction.
Usually, I can tell by a trailer most often that like this is gonna be a bad or a good movie, or it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. And usually I'm right because I asked people who were gonna go see it, and I'm like, yeah, it was bad. And I said, yeah, I know, I saw the trailer.
Yeah, trailers are pretty revealing these days. Uh,
Yes, there.
they
Um, and actually, speaking of trailer, the last one that's actually interesting was Jojo Rabbit when that was out.
Mhm.
Um, because like it's about the boy who's in Nazi Germany and has his friend Hitler, and I was like, okay, this is so interesting. I'm like, how are you going to pull that off? Something about it just seemed interesting, so I had to go see it. Great movie,
it's
great time.
it's very good. Yeah. Apparently, it's nothing like the book that it was based on.
I was right. It is based off a book, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely have not read, but I'm not surprised by that at all.
Yeah. It's like it's. I remember I saw an interview with Taika Waititi, and he was talking about meeting with the author of the book to
Yeah,
say that he wanted to turn it into a movie, and he was like, I couldn't lie to her. I told her I was incapable of making a serious movie. Um, and so,
unfortunately.
yeah, I don't think there's a kid with an imaginary friend Hitler in the book. Again, I've never read it,
Yeah,
but
I don't know. I haven't read the book either.
all right, heavy hitting commentary by by Anthony and Derek here. Never read a book.
Never read that book.
I'll go on a limb and say I've never read a book. I've never done it.
You never gone your way to just read.
Yeah, no, I've never done it. And I never will. I'm um I'm a free thinker, is what I am.
So I gave you that acting book for practically no reason.
Yes, you did,
That's
and
nice.
that's on you. That's on you. Um,
It's on me for not knowing that you don't read books, even though
yeah,
you accepted the book.
yeah, that's on you. That's on you.
Great. I'm glad
It's
to
a,
know that.
it's a little embarrassing if I can be honest. Um, I'm
That you
em-
don't read books.
I'm embarrassed for you, is what I'm
Oh,
saying.
okay. Gotcha.
Um, but we all have our flaws. Some more than others. You more than me. But
Yeah, I've been trying to work on these flaws that I have.
yeah,
Especially when I look up on the pedestal which you sit on, uh, and to it into which you've rightfully placed yourself. By the way, exactly that pedestal right there. Because of course he's up there, and I, being the peasant that I am like I gotta be more like him.
yeah,
I have to not read and practically be illiterate.
yeah, yeah. That's what it takes. That's what it takes to be me. Is just an overwhelming confidence, uh, where none is warranted.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. You got to be illiterate. That's about it.
Wow. Wow. Actually, that somehow makes your point better by not having another thing, having that pause there. There was some kind of quote I seen this dude was talking like, there's one thing to be able to not read, and then there's a thing where you read where you can read but you don't, and that makes you functionally illiterate. I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Heard that term before.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. I like to read. I have a lot of books. Um, I haven't been reading, but like I said before, trying to be on social media less and read more books. So that's what I'm working on now. I was actually reading a Bible earlier today.
I can be 100% certain, and when I say I don't think I've ever just sat down and read a Bible.
Hmm.
Uh, I had growing up Catholic, I got a whole lot of Bibles for different events, birthdays, and communions,
Yeah.
whatnot. I did get like an action hero Bible
Hmm.
where Jesus is like Jesus is like Aquaman in that. Like he's like Jason Momoa. He is shredded, his hair
Nice.
is super long,
Nice.
always flowing and clean. I don't think I read that one.
That sounds really funny though.
Yeah.
I like it.
I probably still have it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
If it's there, it's buried.
Right. Well, also, I wouldn't expect a person such as yourself to be reading a Bible since you don't participate in that. So
Yeah.
that also kind of explained that too.
That was the shorter way to explain that. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course.
But I mean, I went through a period where I was like, I don't like to read. It's
Mm.
I don't know. I think so. I did enjoy reading
Mm.
when I was a youth, and then when I was in middle school, it was my sixth grade year.
Mm.
Um, halfway through the year, they were like, "All right, everyone in every grade has to read 20 books a year, and that is part of your grade in English class."
Mm.
And then all of a sudden, the books, by the way, had to be at least 200 pages.
Naturally.
Mm-hmm. And so when reading became about like just checking off a box as opposed to reading something I was interested in, um, I did not enjoy reading all that much. Um, so I for a long time I just didn't read. And I think that's definitely why I didn't read is
Right.
because I was like, well, they're making me. I don't want to read. And then I think when I started reading again, like the book I read was The Great Gatsby, just because I'd heard it was, you know, it's the great American novel as it's referred to, and then I was like, I'll read it. It was pretty good, it's interesting. Um, but like everyone I talked to was like, oh, I had to read that in school. I hated that book. And I was like, well, I didn't have to read it in school. And now that I'm finally reading it, I was like, oh, this is not bad. It's interesting. It's very complex. Um, I don't think I fully understand it. Um, I don't know if anyone does, but
Someone has to. At least I hope so.
maybe.
Uh,
But
yeah, I think I've always been a believer. Just like school just kind of ruins reading for you, because you have to do so much of it on so many different kinds of books, like fictional books, but also all these nonfiction textbooks that are boring as shit and nobody wants to fucking read. And so it just kind of kills reading for a lot of people. And I think that's a shame because there's so much knowledge one can attain and learn. And it can be harder to find that. And I think it's important to say too that it's more important to do. There's one quote that goes, I think it's Bruce Lee, that goes like the doer learns. So you obviously learn a lot and experience a lot when you just do. Um, my personal goal would be to have a combination of both doing and like the reading, analytical theorizing part of that too. The combination of both that will take you much farther than just doing. Um, if you can do both of those in a healthy way.
yeah,
Uh,
the textbook one is that's a really interesting because like I saw um I saw a statistic a long time ago that was like um only a certain number of only a certain percentage of Americans like read nonfiction books.
yeah,
Um, let me see. I can't. It was like 30 something percent.
mm,
Uh, don't quote me on that. I'm just doing more work for myself at this point.
yeah, that's fine.
But I think yeah, like it's like a huge percentage of people in America just didn't read nonfiction books.
Yeah.
Probably the reason is probably because of textbooks. Like textbooks were mandatory reading, and they're boring as can be.
Yeah. It's highly unfortunate.
Yeah, but
That's most majority of my books that I have are nonfiction. I have very few fiction books. Now that I think about it,
I think I read more fiction than nonfiction.
but that makes sense because you want to get something like entertaining out of it.
Yeah, I mean it can be entertaining nonfiction if it's something you're interested in.
Well, yeah, hence why you would have the nonfiction books. Absolutely.
Yeah, you know when I had to read 20 books a year, you know what books I loved to read? I don't know if you ever heard of Charlie Bone, those that series of books.
That does sound a little familiar.
I think it's kind of like a Harry Potter knockoff in a way. I think he's like a wizard sort of, but he's in America. I don't know.
I don't think I heard of that then.
The books were like 400 pages, right?
Yeah.
They seem real long, but the text, like the actual words themselves, such huge font,
Okay.
triple spaced, and I was
Right.
like, oh my god, I can knock out like this entire series, and that's my whole thing for the year. Like I
Right.
don't read any more books. So I loved the Charlie Bone books. Just I couldn't really tell you what any of them were about. I don't remember it all.
But yeah, I mean, it's not like you're really doing it for the enjoyment, so why remember anything really?
I remember not. I remember thinking they were interesting.
Okay, well, that's something.
Um, I'm gonna blow my nose here for a second, so
Please do it.
you can entertain the masses.
Well, I guess what I wanted to say was I find it kind of funny that at the very start of this, you're like, let's not talk about our personal lives, and yet it's like, what's happening? Um, but I guess it's just like, okay, one person said that they want to talk about current events and stuff. And it's not that we can't do that and or don't want to do that. But I guess I'm also just kind of like, who are you? I don't know. Um, then like go somewhere else and listen to that stuff. I was just trying to help us out, give us actual critique, to which then that's fair, but also we're like people. So I don't know. And also we don't have like an established format for this. So some people have a very specific topic they talk about, and there's a podcast I listen to where they will ask questions on like Instagram, and then people will send in the responses to that, and they read them, and they're fucking hilarious. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, people do stuff like that. We don't have anything like that, so it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed talking about whatever, whatever. Just see where it goes. But I mean,
Right.
I'm not opposed to talking about current events. Um,
Yeah,
I
I
don't think.
mean, I don't necessarily know what's going on or anything that stood out to me.
Yeah. Um. Well, let me tell you, the stock market. It's up from here. That's all. It's
I'm already bored.
yeah. Russia, Ukraine. Well,
That's still happening,
it is
right?
happening. It sure is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Putin called a ceasefire, and then like the next day broke the ceasefire.
A man of his word. Love that.
It isn't shocking.
No, that's not shocking.
But I
Yeah.
mean, go ahead.
No, I mean, I don't recall a really like interesting thing that's been going on recently that really stood out in my mind that I was just like, ooh, you know what I'm saying? And I really try not to even involve myself with any kind of news because the only thing I actually like is Phil DeFranco and like John Oliver stuff that he talks about. Otherwise, I'm just like, yeah, I don't care because so okay. A book I have is called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. It's by a guy named Mark Manson. Really, really like Mark Manson.
For that one.
Um, but the point of the book is not necessarily how it sounds. It's not about like just like not giving a fuck, thinking you're all cool or whatever for doing that. It's like no. you only have so many fucks to give, and so you have to choose where you're gonna get put your fucks. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give a fuck about this. I'm gonna give a fuck about this. I can't care about this. I just can't do it. I only have so many. You know what I'm saying? So that's like the point of the book. And it's just like, okay, yeah, I don't want to concern myself with it because I want peace of mind and I actually want to like myself and try to like live in this world. And a lot of that stuff is just trash and they exaggerate stuff and it's not truthful sometimes and it's just ridiculous. And
I that's I don't know if you ever watched Patriot Act with Hassan Minhaj.
oh yeah, I love that show.
I think the show is over. Which, you know,
It is over. I'm saying that in the past tense.
but there was an episode where he talked about like I don't know what the term was, like activism fatigue or something like that.
Mhm.
But yeah, he talked about the same thing. He's like, you can't care about everything. He's like, so just pick like the three that's the most important to you, and just like
Yeah,
so. It's like the
pretty
same,
much.
yeah, same philosophy.
It's the same thing. I'm like, bro, I can only care about so much stuff, and then I have to like not. And last time I talked to Allison, it was quite a while ago, but she was just like, I don't even look at that stuff. But man, I sure do feel good about myself. I'm on social media. She's like, I feel great. I'm like, that's amazing. I love that for you. But also, like, that's real. And honestly, if it really was that important, that news will find you anyway. Someone's gonna tell you about it. You know what I'm saying? So like, nah. What also can be interesting is like the evolution of like two people going through their lives, and talking about things that do interest them, whether that is stuff from before or now, things that are going to happen. Like that can also be interesting. It's just not interesting to you, and it's okay. You don't have to like it. You don't even have to listen or watch. Like I really don't care. I'm kind of just along for this ride. This thing wasn't even my idea. It was yours, you know. And it's cool to be here, but I'm just like whatever, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to say
Mm.
just more work for myself. When you inevitably watch this, he'll know we're talking about him.
Yeah,
But I like you, buddy. I'm just joking around. I'm just joshing around. I'm just joshing and joking is what I'm doing. But
yeah.
yeah, we're just talking about whatever.
Just talking about whatever. I'm not like mad or anything. I'm just trying to say how it is though, you know. Just like
Yeah,
the way I'm saying this is like saying grass is green and the sky is blue. That's how I'm saying this, you know. So honestly, whatever.
I watched a Hank Green video this morning where he
How was
talked.
that for you?
What?
So yeah, like how was that for you?
Oh, it's good. One of the things he talked about was the sky being blue.
Great.
Cool. I don't know if you watch Hank Green very often.
I do not.
Hank Green is a cool guy. He's very smart. His brother is John Green. He's
Yeah.
famous. He wrote The Fault in Our Stars.
Yes, I do know that.
Yeah. So they're
OG YouTubers.
hmm,
OG YouTubers, I believe.
yeah. I think they started Hank and John Green were the ones to start like VidCon.
Oh wow, nice.
So
That's
uh,
pretty crazy.
yeah. But I was just talking about the sky, how it's because the UV rays that reflect off of the gases in the sky come off
Yeah.
as but the sky itself is like just kind of a construct. It technically doesn't exist because it's just gas. You just go right through if you have a rocket.
Right.
I'm grossly oversimplifying this.
Well, no, I mean, it's obviously a lot of information to digest and fully explain.
Very important thing to be noted here. I don't think I'm as smart as him. So
Well, I mean, when I have seen their stuff, they seem to be quite intelligent, you know. So that's okay. I'm sure you'll get there one day, you know,
I don't know.
if you want. Or I guess depending on the interest, like if he's really sciencey himself, then it's just like, well, you gotta be pretty into it if you're gonna match it.
Yeah. I find this stuff interesting. I don't think I'm like into it.
Right. Which is also fair. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
in this ever-growing collection of dead presidents, baby.
Hell yeah. Getting that money, getting that bag. At least we're trying.
I was trying to think of. I had a line from a song in my head, and then I lost it as soon as I stepped up to the mic.
Well, like, bro, you can't freeze at the mic, bro. You can't freeze at the mic. Um, that was oh yeah, the thing I had to say to that was we ain't rich, but we is fancy. Okay.
Is that a reference to something or no?
No, it was the thing that Tamika used to say though.
I never heard her say that.
Oh yeah, she said to me, "We ain't rich, but we is fancy."
She was a liar. She was definitely rich.
She definitely has some money because she worked with I don't really know that much about it, but just from the way she talked about it and stuff, and how she said her workload was, I'm like, girl, we know you got some. You're a consultant for how long? Yeah, I know you're making some money. I
In
know you're making some money.
in DC of all places.
Exactly. And the rooms you've been in and the people in which you talk to, girl, I know you got some money. Don't play with me.
What? Someone one time said was like to her was like, "Oh, your paychecks would make mine cry." She was like, "Yeah, it'll make your cry."
Damn, that's real as fuck.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah.
Mo money, mo problems.
I mean, that's what they say.
That's what Sean Carter told me.
That's what they say. Which I'm sure is actually pretty true. It just seems to be a bit unbelievable when you don't have it. But then if you really think about like having it, you'd be like, okay, people would want to be like, oh, hey, can you pay for this? Ooh, can I get some of that? And then you don't really know you can trust anymore, and blah blah blah, woo woo, all that stuff.
Like if you're super rich, yeah. If you're making like
Yeah.
50,000 a year, I don't think
Uh,
I'll ask you for much.
I definitely wouldn't call you rich. That's actually average. So no, I wouldn't ask you for anything.
It's like pretty dead in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty pretty average money making, which is more than what I make now. So I mean, that'd be nice personally. Um, you know.
Yeah.
But listen, man, I don't really know anything. Okay.
That's so.
Yeah, I don't know anything. I'd say the Socrates point of view on that. Uh, that he knew nothing.
Did you know Plato was jacked,
I can believe that.
shredded?
Yeah,
Plato apparently meant like barrel chested or something like that. Plato
right,
meant a large chest,
right.
so muscular.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can totally believe that. There's some quote by Socrates that goes like, "It's a shame for a man to die without seeing how beautiful his body can be." You know, obviously I'm paraphrasing that, but that's basically what it was saying. And I was like, yeah, no, I agree with that. Like, you can't to not see how you can create yourself and have a lot of strength. I think personally that is a little bit of a shame.
See, when you first said that quote, I thought he was talking directly about Plato, and then he was saying it's a shame that could die without seeing Plato's body.
Nope, not at all.
That'd be a cool quote, though. I would like that. I would quote that on a lot if that were the case.
If that one you just said was the case.
Yeah, yeah. If he had a quote directly talking about how amazing Plato's physique was.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean it's kind of funny in that sense. Um, but a lot of those kind of guys were um, pretty fit actually. I know that said a lot about even like Leonardo da Vinci. Despite all the things that he could do, he was actually known to be pretty fit and pretty handsome. Um,
Yeah, I know Plato wrestled. He was a big wrestler.
Yeah, I
He would
don't.
tears on people and hit him with the RKO.
Yeah, the that didn't exist yet.
Yeah. He would just sneak up behind Aristotle and was like, "Ooh."
Damn, it's RKO. He's gonna be like, what? And like, oh, you'll see in hundreds hundreds of years.
We'll see. We'll see.
You'll see. Well, you won't. You'll be dead. But it's a thing. It's a thing. Trust me.
Man, and all that. They're like, what are you talking about?
What are you
He's like,
talking about?
I just took or whatever.
It's nothing. It's nothing. He just pulls out his iPhone. It's not. I'll ignore it. Just ignore it. It's fine. It's like, what the fuck is that? Oh, this. You won't see it again. It doesn't matter.
Basically a computer. What?
Yeah. You know what's also funny? People started getting a lot of diseases when I showed up. Is that okay? Are they good?
Yeah. You know, it's fine. You'll all see. You'll all see.
Well, you won't. You'll apparently die from the diseases I just gave you. But I mean, it's fine. It's fine.
But it's cool.
It's all good.
You know, Napoleon Bonaparte? I almost said Napoleon Dynamite for a second.
They're totally the same person.
Napoleon Bonaparte
Yeah.
was apparently incredibly ugly and super creepy towards women, which I find very funny. I just,
Yeah.
yeah, the
The
idea.
creepy thing is whatever from the paintings and I've seen. I'm like, I mean, he wasn't the prettiest motherfucker.
Well, you have to imagine they typically like pretty people up in like the self portrait or not self portraits, the portraits of people.
This is also true. And he still was ugly. So what's that to say?
He was not a looker. That's what that has to say.
Yeah. I'm being my Muhammad Ali shit. I saw something like he's being interviewed. His like boys were around or whatever, and he's just like, "Man, I'm so pretty. Like I'm so good, and I'm so pretty." He's like, "I had all these amateur fights and all these professional fights, and I'm still pretty." And he got back up. I'm pretty like a girl. And he sat back down, and I was like, "That's funny."
Very often talked about how pretty he was.
Yeah, absolutely. And he was a handsome boy. He was a handsome boy.
Good looking man.
What can I say?
He he wasn't wrong.
Yeah. Oh, did you watch that episode I told you to watch?
No, I haven't. I was
Uh,
going to watch Atlanta, and then I didn't. I got busy. I was working on something uh that might get us premium Zoom soon.
oh, good, good. Well, it'd be actually a good opportunity for Black History Month. And that one of those episodes that would be good to talk about. That's basically just me talking most of the time on that. But you'll see
Yeah.
definitively why when you watch the episode.
Well, right now I can't say anything.
Because when you watch it, you're like, oh, okay. I'm like, yeah, it's really funny. But also very relatable.
Atlanta is hilarious.
Atlanta is hilarious. Definitely one of the best shows to happen.
Yeah, very good.
Yes,
On that note, with less than a minute,
yes, we do.
anything you want to say to the world? All 20 people that will watch this?
Uh, I wish that the rest of this day is well with you, and the rest of your week is good.
So that's a very good message. I'm not even going to try to top that. All right.
Okay.
I'll see you next time.
All right. Peace out, boy.